Collective, what's up? How you guys doing? I would like to thank you guys for tuning in to Only the Realist. Hope that you guys have all had a wonderful day out there, and be mindful that this reading will not resonate with every single one of you. There are millions of energies on planet Earth, and without further ado, we're gonna jump right in. And our first energies out here is the King of Cups. Okay. Alright. With the Knight of Cups as well. Alright. Well, we have some strong emotional energy coming through here. It's like this slow pace, right? And this is from within yourself. Okay. This may be something that you're about to experience that opens this very emotional part of yourself, out of happiness or out of understanding or grace, appreciation of some sort, right? But it's about to walk into your life, and you're already carrying this very, fatherly, like, emotional self. And when I say fatherly, like, I mean in a responsible type of way, right? You understand how your emotions and where your emotions need to be placed, right? And how to take care of those emotions that are placed there. Simply just being kind to others, and hoping to receive that back as well from those people. Not only was it at the bottom of the deck, it's now here in the reading. King of Cups, or the Knight of Cups. Yeah. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So this is also being implemented here. Understanding how to create growth within this space of the emotions, right? Which is, like that King of Pentacles, right? How do they say it? It's, recognizing where your emotions are, so that certain opportunities or things can come in for you, right? This is a symbol of growth. New things are coming from this growth. Five of Cups with the Ace of Cups, the ultimate wish fulfillment of emotional stability. Okay, and you have the Five of Cups. No longer looking back for emotional support, because your patience and understanding has already created that for you without having that from external, right? External things to help support. You'll be surprised how many people have all of these branches of support, but if those branches of support failed, then there's a possibility that that person who has created his or her identity from the support of external without understanding how to create it from within, it will crumble, and that bridge will no longer be accessible to cross. But when you can go through things and experiences in life and understand that, you know, and having support is always a good thing. But when you have not created the anchor of support within yourself yet, first, then you have a burning building. Because then there's no, there's no you. There's you with this, that's holding as a stability, but there's no you saying, okay, this is how this is grown, this is how this is grown, this is how this is grown, this is how, and you create your own support and stabilize that first in yourself, and then you create branches from external things if you choose to. I believe that was the Two of Cups, bottom of the deck. Finding that union within you. Yeah, it's not easy to create a bond with yourself. You know what I mean? Fighting and struggling and then fighting and struggling with the external outside world that you have to face on a daily basis. It makes it very difficult to sit with yourself and try to analyze and observe, or work on things, but still wanting to learn from that is, it will always be an amazing thing, because you still learn, yeah, you still learn. Okay, and we have the Hermit. That's good. Some more learning, right? Some more learning. So we're gonna go within. We're gonna do some self-reflection, right? At the bottom of the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune. We're going to, rejuvenate that lost energy, that exhausted energy, right? And we're going to find a space, right? If you don't have a space yet, I would advise you to, or suggest you to find one. A quiet space, somewhere that you go to, just be with your own self. That can be to meditate, that can be to do some exercising, that can be to do some walking, some listening to music, right? Anything which is your quiet space. Get in that space. It's gonna help you to self-reflect, right? It's like when you're in a certain type of space energetically in the day, and you put on headphones, and it may help you to do something. It may help you to find certain thoughts to create something. It may help you to remember something, or remember someone, or all sorts of things that when you're in your little space, right, it gives you these powerful insights on things that move you forward, right? That open up new possibilities of experiences that you may not have if you don't go into your little quiet space, right? Your little, you know, your bubble, you know. But you're going in a good direction though, you know, with a open heart, of understanding and knowledge and hopes of accepting wisdom, right? You you move yourself forward. It's a it's a true navigation, you know. It really is. When you learn something new, you go into a new space. You go into a new energy. You go into a new realm, you know, a new door, new stage, new level. You know, there's this, it's continuous if you are willing to learn, to experience, you know? Like like I wanna do this, you know? Like, oh, you wanna go to the ocean, you wanna go to the mountains, you wanna go to another country, you wanna go to this, that. Why not? All of these things give you new experiences, new people, new faces, new smells, new. It allows you to unlock so many other things that you wouldn't unlock if you're not unlocking it, you know? It makes sense. It makes sense. And maybe the way that we as humans try to unlock things may not be, or may not be perceived as, oh, it's the right way to unlock it, right? Within that positive realm, right? I mean, I don't want people thinking that doing evil things to get things is a good thing. No. Of course, there are good people that are granted things by doing things out of goodwill, and then there are bad things that are there are bad bad things that are granted to people that do evil things. But there's always a pro and a con to that, you know, doing evil things, you know. You can live your entire life being positive and taking on energetically negative things, right? But if you're out doing evil things, your life is going to be shortened very quickly. We don't have to be geniuses to know that. You're either going to end up in prison or jail, or you're going to be dead somewhere. Because that's just how life is. You know what I mean? That's how the world revolves. That's how things are operated. That change of perspective. We have the Hanged Man with the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. The wants and the needs, right? This is working on yourself. Really going in and working on self. It's change of perspective. A lot of self things you didn't really know about yourself. but you went through an experience that changed your perspective. And you know what that experience is because you're the only one that experienced it. Eight of Pentacles. It's that deep dive, working on the self, working on the things that put you in this emerging mode of of emotion, right? And not in a positive or negative way, but in a way that allows you to just see yourself, right? Because it's difficult to go within ourselves and emotionally look at the things that are positively and negatively affecting our lives. It's difficult. It is difficult. But when you can slowly start peeking in, like, hey, that's cool, you know? Last time I freaked out about that. This time I was kind of like, you know, kind of rolling into it, you know? So, and I know life can be kind of tricky with those kind of things, but, you know, if you are just someone that allows life to happen, right? And I'm not saying that as in like, oh, guys being brutally hurt over there, you shouldn't say anything, or, you know, we all know morals. Well, at least we should know morals, right? Things that are good to ourselves and others, right? Humanity, right? Um, oh my goodness. But just be in the moment, right? Or not be in the moment. I want to say it a different way. Just allow it to flow. That's probably a better, a better way to express that. But yeah, just allow it to flow. You know. And we have the Nine of Cups. Okay. So allowing those emotional guards to come down. Feel free is the saying. Feel free. Again, we have the King of Swords. But not only was it at the bottom of the deck, it's now here in the reading, and we have strength. Okay. Or at least I believe I don't know. Strength. Man. Either way, there's a lot going on right now. Okay. Strength. There's a lot going on within you, a lot of changes that are giving you a lot of different emotions, different mixed emotions about different things. And obviously these are things that you're like navigating on your own, right? Within yourself, right? These aren't things that are just like out in the open, like, hey, I'm going through this, hey, I'm going. Although that would really suck if we did have like little voices that said that when we were like in certain emotions, that'd be kind of awkward. But yeah, just to yourself, right? But this allows you to look at things as kind of a puzzle now, right? Put you in this, you know, strategic kind of thought where things have to be placed in the right, you know, sections, so that we don't have all of these alarms going off and a lot of mental stress, which can you know, negatively navigate us somewhere else where we don't need to be, right? But yeah, and see, with the Hermit here as well, this is really good, you know, especially since you do have all of these, like, you have just these thoughts going around, right? And although you have an understanding, right, that your change of perspective, you do have an understanding of what's going on. You need to be with yourself and really, really, really allow the adjustments of the change that's going on to settle in. Okay, because we have the Eight of Swords here. Yeah, this is that trapped energy, right? Where you're like, you're trying to, and you're blinded too. It's like you're trying to walk, but there's, like, you're in this really dark space because there's, you know, your eyes are, you know, blindfolded, and you're just like, like, if I make this next step right here, you know, what's gonna be going on, you know what I mean? But this is why, you know, when you are with this Eight of Swords, you know, we gotta put ourselves in this place of everything is gonna be okay, you know. Of course, it may not feel okay, right? But everything's gonna be okay, because that feeling is only temporary. Remember that if it is not pain inflicted onto the flesh, then it is only temporary to your experience. Your thoughts do not, you know, your thoughts do not give you physical pain. So you are able to wake up and complete more experiences in your life only because you have not physically been affected. And although some other people may think differently, you know, because mental thoughts can disable your body for some time, but it does not stop your experience from happening in the way to where you are not disabled in certain areas, right? For example, if you're a runner and you happen to just lose your leg, you're no longer a runner, brother. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be on the track fields running anymore after that, unless you want to get a metal leg, and still it's not gonna be the same. Okay, and we have the Sun. All right, and we have the Knight of Swords. Okay, this is good. This is like this fiery energy uprising within you, right? You're feeling the heat of the sun. You know, when the winter's over and that fresh bright sun comes out, it's like there's no type of, like, coldness going on, and you're just like, yep, it's the summer, or that's the spring, early spring or late spring, I should say. Um, but yeah, just that happy feeling that your body gets. You're just like, ooh, you know, like the winter's over. Oh yeah, and this is what powers you. Okay, knowing that the winter is over. Okay. Six of Swords, moving away to calmer waters. And we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck, the ultimate wish fulfillment of emotional stability. So, doing good there. We're getting things stabilized, getting things put into like the categories that they need to be placed in, right? We don't need our emotions and our mental and our spirit going this way, and that way without having a balanced understanding of like, okay, what do I need to get done first, and then we'll go through it that way, right? Not only was it at the bottom of the deck, it's now here in the reading. Yeah, going towards what you are, you feel that you're capable of getting to. We have the Chariot, things moving in a very fast pace, coming from a place of like, a little bit just in a scattered mind, right? Coming to, let's, now that everything's in place, let's start, putting in some actions to create. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay. With the Page of Pentacles. All right. You're someone who cares about the world. You care about peace and understanding and truth. Okay? This is a very motherly, nurturing type of energy. Okay? It's a restart, but it sure as hell is secured, Yeah. Three of Wands, waiting for your ships to come in. And here we are again with the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Okay. You know that you're right around the corner from creation. We can be creators until we become, or we can make creations until we become the creator, right? Anyways, guys, that's all that I have for you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. I would really like to hear what you guys have to say. And if you guys have been with the gang, I love you guys so much. Monistique, and I'll catch you guys next time.